Muy buenas noches a todos. How's everybody? Okay, all three of you. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us for this very special night. Tonight is a very special celebration because it is an opportunity to truly honor people that have given their heart to this community on behalf of the Hispanic community. And it's a great opportunity to close out Hispanic Heritage Month. So with tonight, we're gonna honor some amazing people. We're gonna feature some other artists and a couple of other surprises. But more importantly, I want you guys to reflect on what this all means. So the kickoff to Hispanic Heritage Month and the national theme was Unidos, inclusivity for a stronger nation. And as I've mentioned that before, I feel that that is a reflection of what is going on, not just in our community and our city, but in our country. So as Hispanos, as Latinos, as Chicanos, whatever we feel that we identify with, we're here to celebrate that. We're here to promote that. And we are here to make sure that the contributions and all the amazing things that our community does for our city, for our state, and for our country is not only recognized, but celebrated. Tonight is just a little snapshot of an even bigger picture. And that's all the amazing things that people are doing on a daily basis. And as much as we would love to honor every single person that was nominated or the people that we might have not had a chance to recognize, we all play a key part into making our community better. We are all a reflection of our comunidad, la comunidad hispana. And it's very important because as the younger generation looks to us for leadership and mentorship, it's our job to unify and show our younger generation what our Hispanic heritage is all about. And it starts with nights like this, honoring, celebrating, and just enjoying one another unidos. So have a great night. I would like to welcome my amazing vice chair for some other opening remarks.
Thank you so much. That's our chairman, Orlando Vargas. Awesome. All right. Well, it's wonderful to see everybody today. Hispanic Heritage Month this year was just very special. I think everybody's hard work, their commitment, their dedication, the passion that went into everything was just incredible. And the people in this room are really the people that make a difference in our community, right? And for me this year, I think what's super important for me this year is basically education. I think our educational system just really, took a hit with our, pandemic and everything that happened. I think our students more than ever need motivation. They need support, advocacy, our families. And so the people in this room are the people that come together. And as we work collectively to create solutions, create strategies to meet our students, to meet our families, it's wonderful. So, lots of great work has been put into this year. It is exciting that you're all here. I'm so excited about all our award winnees today, and everybody's here, and I'm excited about all our visitors. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we have a beautiful night planned out. Thank you.
So at this moment, I'd love to start the evening off with a gentleman that has truly exemplified community service. He has held too many hats for me to even remember or even list, but he has been an incredible advocate for his community, for the city of Albuquerque, and the state of New Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Mr. Alan Amijo to come up to the podium right now.
Gracias, Orlando. Buenas noches, bienvenidos. Of course, for those of us that are from northern New Mexico, buenas noches usually means good night, right? Going to bed, going to sleep. My wife's Mexicana, so buenas noches, I learned that it's not just about going to sleep, it's dark, so it's buenas noches, But that's the beauty of our culture. That's the beauty of our language and our colloquialism. Even northern New Mexico is not one, they speak everything the same. You go through different northern New Mexico communities, there are different colloquialism. My family was from northern New Mexico. I grew up in Clayton in northeastern New Mexico, more Tejano, Oklahoma than Chicano, I think sometimes. I could say howdy with the best of them. And, but like I said, that's the beauty of our culture and the different language that we have and the different colloquialisms, and we're willing to learn other languages or other colloquialism. But at the end, we're all Hispanos, we're all Hispanic. We all have those different names. I think years ago I spoke one time and I taught, I've been a variety of things. I've been Hispanic, I've been Hispano, I've been Chicano, I've been Mexican, I've been Mexicano, I've been Spanish American, Mexican American. All those labels, Latino, only until lately, but we're still Hispanos, we're still in our culture and the things that happen to us and what we do with people. I'm here representing Mayor Keller, and he apologizes for not being here in September. He always enjoys going and kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month. Of course, to him, it's always a pleasure because his daughter Maya goes to Coronado Elementary and she dances and performs up there. What parent's not proud of their little kid, right? But he's also proud of our culture. And he says to me, I'm glad I grew up here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm not Hispanic, but I feel like it because our culture and the people here make you feel like you belong. Do we have differences sometimes? Of course we do. Do we have differences politically? Of course we do. But no matter what our religion, no matter what our political background, no matter what we think, we're still one Albuquerque. We're still one people here, and we get into our little areas of family or community and we speak our language, and maybe it's mocho, who cares? And we eat our food. But we know who we are, and we like to include other people as well. We're proud to show people that are not from here what we're about, what our food is about, what our culture is about, what our language is about, and explaining that. And I think that's what Mayor Keller says to me on a regular basis. This is why I enjoy being from here. I think we're more than food and dance. We are. We're about culture. We're about education. How many of us here have gotten a good education, and why? We had parents and grandparents and tios and tias and teachers who may not have been Hispanic who saw something in us to get an education so that we could do what we're doing tonight. Honor people, continue our tradition, get involved, whether it's at Sandia Labs or being a teacher or being an elected official or being whatever we want to be. If without that education, and this committee has gotten involved in education, we advocate for education, we have to make sure that our young people are getting educated. And I say that because I'm a retired teacher, a high school teacher. I was in education for 35 years, 36 years. And to me, and I taught in the Chicano communities because I thought that was important to me. And that's what you all are about and this committee is about, is making sure, because without education, and it doesn't always mean you get a college degree, although we want a lot of people to do it. It does mean about getting some training. It does mean about finding your passion. It does mean you may go to CNM or you may go to some vocational school, but it does mean that you learn more than what you've been learning in the past. And without you all, without this committee, with what you do to raise funds to get our children educated, things are not going to change and things are not going to get better. And we are about a variety of things. We're about helping people. We're about helping those that need help. So on behalf of the city and on behalf of Mayor Kellner, congratulations to the awardees tonight. Congratulations to all the committee and everything that they do. Es un placer para mí para estar aquí con ustedes esta noche. Y le doy muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Y gracias por dejarme hablar con ustedes esta noche. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, Alan Armijo. I love the history, and preserving our rich culture is so important. The stories mean so much to us, right? Absolutely. And yes, education. I think we're a peaceful people as well. I think we need to, a peaceful people with ganas, right? As well. I said, we do need to educate our families. And I tell myself this year, it's about conflict resolution, right? Teaching our youth, teaching how to resolve conflicts, how to work together, how to be a team, right? I think we're a people of peace, absolutely. A very special guest, absolutely. We have the very special Honorable Brian Colon, New Mexico State Auditor, in the house. We are so excited and so pleased to have him here with us, our guest speaker, to share a few words today. Thank you.
Qué bárbaro este.
We knew you were coming.
They knew I was coming, and they're just hoping that I go soon because they don't want to listen too long. Pero here I am, and I got the microphone. My name is Brian Colon. It's been a privilege to be your state auditor of New Mexico. Let me welcome you here tonight, and thank you to our co-chairs. They've done an amazing job for the last year. This jale is heavy, and they're doing it every single day. So how about one more round of applause for our leadership on this committee? Imagine following Irma Ruiz and the good doctora Jennifer Gomez Chavez. Those are high heels that I would never want to step in. But they took the chance and they've done a great job. Felicidades, felicidades. Look, I have been asked to give the keynote tonight, and I hope that what we do is we really focus on the award recipients, and I want to honor them appropriately. Qué bárbaro. If I looked this good in a cowboy hat, I'd sleep in it at night. You're like right off the TV. El guapo, el mero mero. But I do want to share a few thoughts with you about why I have been involved with this committee for at least a decade or so. And some of you may not know my journey, but I think my journey hopefully will inspire your work, so I'm going to tell you the lens that I look through every day in service. You see, I grew up, like Alan Arvijo, who's lived a life of service. I mean, it didn't matter what opportunity was presenting, he said yes. He didn't need a title or a position to serve his community. He started in the classroom, educating our children, and when opportunities presented and people came to him, he said, sí. He stepped up. And if he was about pomp and circumstance and gravity and had an ego, he'd only be concerned about the title. But what I have learned about Alan Armijo, who has preceded me on this mic, is that I have come to respect his service in a way that I respect the service of very few people. Because he doesn't need a title, he just gets the work done. Thank you for serving La Tierra del Encanto, New Mexico. Thank you. And like the lens he looks through, I grew up in Los Lunas, down in Valencia County. And I grew up like most New Mexicans. The New Mexicans we're talking about when we talk about education, who need a break, who need to hear from incredible poets and incredible teachers. Because we're growing up in poverty, and our parents are struggling every day to keep the lights on. You see, I had both parents who were disabled, and literally my father was dying before my very eyes every day I was a teenager. He had a horrible disease called muscular dystrophy and literally deteriorated each day when I came home until he passed away at the young age of 49. I was a teenager at that time and he left me, but I had his dream. You see, my father, who put a roof over our head thanks to Section 8 housing, put food on the table thank you to commodities like the blocks of cheese and the powdered milk. The cheese was so good. He agrees with me. You know what the problem was? You could stir that powdered milk for half an hour, it's still going to be lumpy and gross. Is that a word, gross? I don't want to get too much up here. If I see some people recording, que bárbaro. But the truth is that we needed every bit of governmental assistance for survival. When I buried my father, I placed his dream front and center in my life. And his dream was that I'd be the first in my family to go to college and break that cycle of poverty. And people like the good regents that serve on our institutions of higher learning set up programs that would ensure that we had incredible leaders, that when I looked up, I saw a reflection of my father. You see, my father went to high school, but he told me he went on the first day, he went through the front door and he went through the back door, and that's how he got through high school. He never went back. But when I look up and I see people like Dr. Torres, who led the University of New Mexico, who invested and believed in students like me, when I didn't have a parent or a single blood relative in the entire state of New Mexico to look out for me or to provide guardrails. Leaders in the Hispano community stood for me and with me. People like Edna, who are leading in the business community, said, "Y mocosito, qué lindo pecoso." They're like, "We're here for you. We're going to fill the gap because we are a community. We don't care whether you're Boricua or whether you're 14th generation New Mexican. We care about you in this community, and we will stand with you." You see, I lived my father's dream. I was the first in my family to graduate from college, and I broke that cycle of poverty that they had known for far too long. The best part of that story is I graduated from New Mexico State University. I was on the tenure track. And I know we got some education leaders, Dr. Roybal over here, but I wasn't on the tenure track for a professorship. It took me 10 years to get my bachelor's degree. But I finally did. I finally did, thank you. And then I went straight to UNM School of Law. And after living my father's dream and writing the next chapters in my life, I started living my dream. And my dream was I'd be able to raise a son in this community who I could be proud of, and that would be healthy, and that I'd be able to serve La Tierra del Encanto. And as I stand here before you today, I have fully lived that dream, because the best part of my story is I married an incredible woman 27 years ago. Many of you know her, Maria Aleli. She is a civil engineer with a master's in math, and she's a PhD candidate. She's taught in the deepest pocket of poverty in Albuquerque with all our little children of color. And some of them are called Raza, some are Chicanos, some are Latinos, some are Hispanos. But they're all her students, and she cares about them deeply, and she's changing their lives every day in the classroom. She's making a difference. So part of my dream was marrying her, and we had a beautiful son who I named after my first guy who gave me a dream, my dad, Rafael. My son Rafael is now 25 years old. He just celebrated a birthday last weekend, and because of the Hispano community filling the gap for this little pecoso, the next chapter after I graduated was that I raised a son named Rafael, who graduated from Albuquerque High School. He's a very proud bulldog. He graduated at the top of his class and got a presidential scholarship to go to George Washington, and he's now, as I stand before you, a biomedical engineer, one generation out from Section 8 housing. One generation out. That is the story of Hispanos and people of color from around the country. Why? Because we're leaning in, and we're coming together, unidos. And we're telling our story. And we're telling our stories of the people who have done the jale in the fields and that have provided for their children, regardless of the number of blisters they had on their hands. Because Dolores Huerta comes home and tells us and educates us and says, sí se puede. And now we're telling the story correctly that yes, Cesar Chavez had it right and he was the leader, but he led because Dolores was standing on his right side every single day of that journey. So that means that the young ladies in New Mexico, the little girls of color in New Mexico, when they look up, they see Dolores Huerta, not just Cesar Chavez. Because we are unidos. We are celebrating our herencia, our cultura, and our gente. And that means the women leaders as well, especially the ones that we appoint to the legislature to serve us. Huh? I guess I just want you to take some pride in my story of service. Because I didn't get to serve you as the state auditor of New Mexico, and for those of you that know me a long time, like Alan and some others that continued to say, get out there and do it again. I mean, I lost plenty of races. I've won some and I lost some. But you continued to stand by my side and encourage me, whether you supported me as the right person for the job or you just said, you're not getting my vote, but I'm sure as hell glad you're running because we need people like you out there on the field. Because when our kids look up, they've got to see leaders who are tenacious and have the grit and have the story that you have. And you're comfortable telling it. Yes, I'm comfortable telling you that when I was that teenager down in Las Cruces, I was surfing couches to keep a roof over my head. And then one generation later, my son doesn't know what poverty is, but for the stories I tell him about the life I have led and the dirt floors and kerosene lamps where my wife was raised in the Philippines. And thankfully, his children will likely never live that story either. And so when we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we have to make sure that when we're celebrating success, like the success that we have in the room tonight, we also never forget to tell our story. Because this success is built on the back of our predecessors and our gente who came before us. It's the leaders of color who have broken barriers. It's the women of color who have broken barriers. It's the leaders in education institutions who toil and toil and toil. And they don't get handed a mic every day like I do. Because when I get handed a mic, it's usually followed by a round of applause. Yes or yes? Right? But there are countless Hispanos out there working every day who never get a microphone. It's never followed by a round of applause. So it's our job during Hispanic Heritage Month to say, aplauso. Let's celebrate the Hispano success. Let's tell our story. So that when little kids of color look up, They see a reflection of themselves, but they also know what it took to get those people in those positions of capacity and power. Because it didn't happen overnight. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. For your tia, for your abuelita, for Edna, for so many of you in this room who were trailblazers and are former recipients of the awards that we're giving out tonight. You were the trailblazers, so we celebrate you too. How about a round of applause for all those trailblazers that are in this room that I know by name? I still have 17 minutes left. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I do have the microphone, so pues, what are you gonna do? Take it away. Orlando's like, it's not the first time I cut you off, Colon. I'll do it again. Oh, you know why I like this event so much? It's one of the few places where I go where they don't introduce me as Brian Colon. Con acento, come on. It's Brian Colon, que bárbaro. Imagine growing up a Colon your whole life in Los Unas. Sheesh, a la modi. I gave the bullies so much material. I mean, I was a heavy-set little pecoso who wore 4 eyes. Remember when the glasses were like Coke bottles? That's the kind of glasses I had. The Coke bottle glasses. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You remember, no? Now they're all nice and thin and sexy. Like, you look at your glasses, they're nice. When I was a kid, I wore Coke bottle glasses. I was heavy-set. I'm still kind of heavy-set. But redhead, freckles. And then from my flea market, I had found a briefcase. And I thought if you're successful, you carry a briefcase. They're in the back going, oh, pobrecito. You're right. Because I got that briefcase and I carried it to school, all happy. With my little briefcase, heavy set. Here comes Colin. He's got his briefcase. The teachers, they were pretty good. They protected me. They knew my dad from the flea market, Rafael. My dad was a great guy. I miss him so much. I hope that tonight you'll take some time to celebrate these recipients. But remember people like my dad, who worked so hard, who didn't have an education. Because when he was getting through the system, there wasn't a Lawrence or a Jennifer or a Cheo that were there to say, come here, mijito, we're gonna get you through this. There wasn't the people at the law school who called me in when I was crying and saying, UNM Law made a mistake. I don't have what it takes. And they said, if we admitted you, then you've got exactly what it takes. And they believed before I could believe. So I'm grateful to all those people who believed in me. I'm grateful you gave me a chance to get 500,000 votes and serve as the state auditor of New Mexico, because that, ladies and gentlemen, was me living my dream. My name is Brian Colon. Sí se puede. Gracias a todos. Vamos a celebrar.
Well, I got the mic back. How do you follow a Brian Colon? Like, now that I'm thinking about this, I have different feelings about having Brian speak right now. But again, Brian is a reflection of everything that we aspire to be and everything that is wonderful about our community. Brian, thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do for our community. You are truly one of God's golden apples, and we're thankful for you. Thank you so much. And man, did he get things started. So hopefully for the rest of you guys, those drinks are kicking in. Well, hey, we're here to honor some people, right? Yes. So before we do, little homework real quick I'd like to just kind of mention real quick. And if my amazing vice chair would come up, we'd like to say a couple of things. But first and foremost, we would love to recognize Marissa Duran, who is our live artist right now. And she is working on a very special piece as we speak during the ceremony. And hopefully we'll get her to speak a little bit more about that a little bit later. And Vice Chair Perea de la O, what would you like to say about our other artist?
Actually, we also have our second annual commemorative poster winner, Eli de Puerto. Are you in the house? Where are you, girl? There we go. Awesome. Beautiful. Isn't it a beautiful, stunning piece of art. It is absolutely incredible. It is gorgeous. And what's really cool, if everybody got their ticket at the beginning when you checked in, at the end of the night tonight, somebody is going to go home with our second annual commemorative poster and also our live art. Isn't that exciting? So keep your tickets, okay? And I also want to do a very special recognition as well to the person that created our beautiful Corozón de Cultura awards out here, and that's New Mexico artist Daniel de la O right over here. Please take a moment to take a look at them. They're absolutely exquisite, absolutely gorgeous work. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right.
So, the first category we would like to start off with. We are going to ask, apologize, let me get, timing is everything. So at this moment, I would like to welcome well, Vice Chair Pereira de la O, the mic is yours.
The mic again. I'm so sorry.
It's going to be a mic battle all night. Bear with us.
Mic battle,
It's going to be a mic battle.
All right, we're like, yeah, I was kidding. All right, sounds good. Well, we have some very special people in the room tonight. And our very first award winner, let me tell you, this person does miraculous things in education, works for New Mexico's flagship university, for our beautiful Health Sciences Center on North Campus, which is absolutely phenomenal. Our Tier 1, Level 1 university, where students come from across the world coming out there to get an education right here in New Mexico. And this individual is making strides in health sciences programs. And also, well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet. I'm going to go ahead and announce this amazing person to come up, and we are so happy to award the Leadership Award to Dr. Valerie Romero Leggett. Please join us. Wonderful. Congratulations, congratulations. We're going to get you your award right over here. Oh my God, it's amazing. There we go. There we go. Leadership for Dr. Valerie Romero Leggett. Let's give her another round of applause. And of course, women in leadership, right? Absolutely. We love that. And they're doing some great things. And so I want to give the mic over to Dr. Romero Leggett.
Thank you so much. Oh, thanks. Well, see, if I didn't have my heels, this would be perfect. But now I'm up here. I just really first want to say buenas noches, and just want to thank from the bottom of my heart the New Mexico Hispanic Heritage Committee and all of you as well. But I thank them not only for this special award, but for the work that they do each and every day for our Hispano, Latino, Mexicana, Chicana communities. And I also thank you for that as well. This award is especially meaningful to me because it comes from my community. So I'm getting teary because it is really very special to me. And, you know, the work that I do and what brought me here to you all today really comes from my childhood values and my cultural heritage, right? So I'm a first-generation college, native New Mexican Hispana, with a very strong roots in my cultural heritage. And my mom and dad, Virginia and Gabe Romero, are from northern New Mexico. They're from Rancho San Cañon. And you know, they finished high school, they went into the workforce, they got married, and then they had 5 of us kids in 7.5 years. We're a very close family. And they instilled in us, though, you know, they worked really hard to make ends meet, but they instilled in us the values of education, of being good to each other and others, at working and doing our best at whatever we did. And they also taught us that we stand on the shoulders of those who come before us. So to me, this award is really an award for all of the people who have helped bring me to where I am today in this journey, and also those who I never had the honor and privilege of knowing, just like all of you have in your lives, and knowing those people who come from way back, right, these decades ago, who opened doors for others, for me and others, all of us, and they gave us opportunities that we have today, but opportunities that they never had, right? So this award really represents that to me. I'm sorry, like my mom and dad, Virginia and Gabe, couldn't be here tonight, but you know, they're here in my heart, of course. And just tengo un amor profundo por mi familia y comunidad. And I do want to thank as well, you know, of course, like we said, these successes are not they're collective efforts, right? It's all of us, it takes all of us. So I do want to make a special thank you to the UNM, the Health Sciences Center, right? My colleagues, the people there, the Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. We have an amazing familia there, of which Dr. Ray Ball, thank you for your nomination. Yes, Dr. Ray Ball and Enlace and Dr. Gomez Chavez. Dear, dear friends. And then, of course, I mean, where are we without our families, like I've said? And so my husband, John, who's here with me tonight, and my kids, Kyle and Gabe and Allie, and Kyle's husband, Robbie. And like I said, you know, always like, because it's my family, right? The family is what, all of our different kinds of families. And I just want to thank you all again, because I know that everyone here carries a very deep understanding of the unique needs and hopes and dreams of your communities. And then you work unwaveringly to make a difference in those communities and in the lives of others. So I really do want to thank you as well. And again, this is just such an amazing honor and privilege. And I just say, adelante to all of us, and mil gracias. So thank you.
What a way to start off the evening, right? With leadership. And more importantly, women in leadership. Arriba las mujeres. At this time, what I would like to do is call our amazing social media extraordinaire, our amazing socialite, our amazing do everything, Lala Gonzalez. And she will be presenting the Visual Arts Award for tonight.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I want to start by saying art. Art shapes the world around us, and almost every day we experience when we interact with others, art. It plays an important role in our daily lives. I hope you see that, and I hope you feel that, because it really is important. Before announcing the winner, I want to make mention and give recognition to the nominees in this category. The nomination for art category includes the following art forms: visual, design, fabric, food, etc. And the nominees for this category are Susan Gomez, Ruby Red, Natalie Trujillo, Felipe Rivera, Daniel De La O, and Catalina Salinas. Before announcing the winner, I'd like to just share a little bit about the artist. This artist, who is passionate about her work, has made an impact to the gente of Nuevo Mexico creating a body of art that comes from the heart. Her colorful personality and spirit is what attracts many of her followers to see her artwork every day, either her carving or her paintings. She creates art for the community by working in different mediums, showcasing a variety of New Mexico themes. Her art can be seen in many parts of New Mexico and other states, as she recently had the honor to unveil the retablo she created for St. Paul's Apostle Church of Pueblo, Colorado. That's a big deal. She has won numerous awards at the State Fair for over 27 years. She has written 2 books, self-published, one called Gente de Nuevo Mexico and Nuevo Mexico Art and Stories. And she's working on a 3rd book called A Vueltas de Nuevo Mexico. I personally credit social media for giving me a window not only to this artist's creativity and art as I watch her paint as early as 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, but especially into her process and really seeing her true passion and dedication of her artistry. Through her art, she is wholeheartedly doing what our committee represents, preserving, celebrating, and promoting our heritage. Please help me congratulate the winner of the art category, Ruby Red. Gracias. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure. I don't know if I can reach. Notice I'm too small. See, that's what I get for being short. Well, I want to thank the committee for this wonderful event. And I was shocked to find out that I won this award. I had no idea I was even nominated. But the big part about this whole award is that it goes to everybody. It's not for me. I paint, I create art every day. But the most important part about that is that I do it early in the morning. I talk to everybody in the morning about my process and why I do it passionately. And that's what it's all about. Preserving the culture of Nuevo Mexico, preserving the culture of our heritage, preserving the culture of the people who reminded me of who I am. That's what counts the most. And so what I tell people every day when I get up in the morning and I'm carving and making me a retablo or a bulto, I tell people, listen, this is about our culture. This is about who we are as gente de Nuevo Mexico, and that's all of us, not just me. So my art is for everybody. And so I remind myself every day when I get up as well that this is a gift given to me by Dios, by God. He gave me the gift to create and also gave me the gift to promote our culture to 100% and plus. To let people know that we exist with many talents, whether it's art, whether it's writing, whether it's music, whether it's anything in life. That's what the most thing that counts to me the most. And so that's why I produce the art. That's why I write my books. And again, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, gracias, everybody.
Okay, just the mic. Mic battle is commencing. So, moving forward. At this time, to present the Education Award, we would like to call former co-chair of the New Mexico Hispanic Heritage Committee, Dr. Jennifer Gomez Chavez.
Buenas noches, everyone. It is so great to be here tonight
to honor some amazing individuals. And as I look out into the crowd, I see many, many leaders, many trailblazers, many mentors within our community. Leaders who continue to inspire us, leaders who continue to do the work. And that's why I love the Corozón de Cultura Awards. So we thank you for being here tonight to celebrate these amazing, amazing leaders. Education seems to be the theme tonight, and I can't tell you how more than ever it is so important to invest in our youth, invest in learning from kindergarten, from early childhood, all the way to the workforce. So I ask you as a challenge to continue believing in our youth, to continue giving your time, giving your money, giving your voice, because we need our students to reach their full potential, our students to know that whatever it is that they want to become, they will become, because each and every one of you has become that role model. And the reason I say that is because tonight we're honoring just a very person, a person who grew up here in Albuquerque. She's native Nuevo Mexicana. She grew up in the Adobe Acres neighborhood, and she attended Rio Grande High School. Go Ravens, right? And she enrolled at New Mexico State University, becoming the first person in her family to attend college. Education has been her life's passion because she believes it is the path forward toward prosperity for our children. She currently serves the South Valley and West Side on the Public Education Commission, which is an elected position, might I add, as one of the 5 elected commissioners statewide and previously served on the governing board of CNM, Central New Mexico Community College. Now this person, once I mention her name, and you've probably seen it, may not know before her husband, Mark, died. Today's his birthday. He died from cancer in 2015. And they both co-founded the Armijo Family Scholarship Fund, originally to honor Mark's mom, Pauline Armijo, who was active in LULAC, Las Mujeres, was a teacher. And after Mark passed away, they continued to raise funds and raised over more than $120,000 in scholarships to New Mexico students who are majoring in education and STEM fields. And you will continue to hear that we want our students to go into many different fields, but right now there's an underrepresentation of our students in STEM, of our students that go into the medical field, like Dr. Romero Leggett. She now serves as the board president of the Mark Armijo Academy Charter High School, which was named after Mark's passing, and it serves at-risk youth. And she currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer for the National Hispanic Cultural Center Foundation, where she helps to raise funds for the Cultural Center's educational programs dedicated to the preservation and promotion of Hispanic culture, arts, and humanities. Her entire professional and civic career has been service to education. Felicidades to Melissa Armijo, our Corozón de Cultura Education Awardee.
Okay, so she said a lot of the things I was going to say, so I'll just start from there. I'm not an educator, and but I'm education adjacent is how I like to consider myself. My career, my path forward started when my husband and I were, young parents, and we were taking our kids to South LA Soccer and South LA Little League, and just got involved in that way. And then Mark was actually the one who was actually on a trajectory to be sort of a legislator or, very much a leader in our state. And that was not what happened. He was diagnosed with cancer, and 18 months later, he passed away. And so I saw people who believed in me and asked me to step into that role. Like Jennifer said, I served as the C&M governing board member, and that wasn't in the cards for me. And then I kept on going. And the charter school was had been actually established in 2001 as Nuestros Valores Charter High School, and my husband was one of the founding board members there. And so I had been in that sort of world for a while. And the executive director, Monica Aguilar, came to me and she said, "Hey, I want to rename the school after Mark." She said, and I thought, oh my God, what an honor. And she said, "And I want you to be the governing board president." I said, "Well, of course, what else am I going to do?" So, charter schools are a big thing in New Mexico. They help fill a gap where, public education, they're all public education entities, but they do help fill a gap where some kids just don't fit in that regular public school realm. So, serving on the Public Education Commission has been just an honor for me. Like Jennifer said, I represent a very, very big district, and there's actually 10 commissioners throughout the state. We just got back. I literally just flew in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We were at a National Charter School Authorizers Conference, and I learned so much about how we need to really push forward our marginalized communities and those babies that haven't got the services that they need. We just need to make sure that happens. So I came back with a renewed energy and force of how I'm going to really serve as their voice. And that's what I want to do here too. Jennifer talked about my mother-in-law, Pauline. Pauline worked in the Bureau of Indian Affairs for almost 20 years before she passed away. And she was the most amazing teacher. I still have people now come up to me when she worked at Laguna Pueblo, and I ran into people and I said, "Do you remember Pauline Armijo?" They're like, "Oh my God, she was my teacher. I did this because of Pauline. I did that because of Pauline." And so it's, she still resonates. And that's what we wanted to do, was celebrate her. That scholarship actually came out of Las Mujeres. I want to thank Diana Montoya, who's here with me. She's one of my mentors. She was my, thank you. She embraced me after Pauline passed away and said, "Hey, I want you to be a part of Las Mujeres." And I said, "Absolutely, I will." And they are the ones who put that scholarship in her name. And we as a family just took it to a next level and made our own nonprofit. And then when Mark passed away in 2015, it just made sense to create a scholarship in his name. And Mark was another one who where's Mr. Colon? He took about 20 years before he got his bachelor's, and it was in computer science. And he fought hard to get that degree. And so that's what we named the Mark Armijo STEM Support Scholarship. So like I said, I'm education adjacent. I am here to fight for our students, learning about everybody else. When it was in Minneapolis, right? And all these people who are having the same struggles that we have, and their communities aren't receiving what they should. And that's what I want to fight for our gente, our people, our children, our babies. And I also need to thank Jennifer Gomez Chavez for nominating me and feeling I was, worthy of this because I'm in the room with Dr. Cheo Torres, who, oh my God, there you go, and Dr. Romero Leggett, and I just feel honored to be up here. I do want to, my children are here, my daughter Asia, my son Christian, they're in the back over there. And I call him my son-in-law Jared, but they're not married, but he's my common-law son-in-law. They are here, and they support me at every step. I want to run for something, and they're like, yes, Mom, we'll help you. Yes, Mom, we'll help you. And then, of course, I have my mama here, Marianne, right there. And Marianne instilled in me, I'm going to jump on the Norteña bandwagon, because my mama's from Anton Chico, New Mexico. And so I've got Norteña in me, I have South Valley in me, and my mama taught me about commitment and hard work and to never stop. As Jennifer also mentioned, I do work here at the National Hispanic Cultural Center Foundation, so I come to work in this beautiful place every single day. So I'm gonna do a shameless plug for this place. Everybody needs to come back. We have performances, we're gonna have an art museum opening next Friday. So I really ask that you guys come and celebrate this place because it is a beautiful space. Real quickly, I do have my CEO and my foundation team here, John Martinez and Jennifer Greenwood here. Thank you guys for being here with me. And thank you everybody so much. I'm really, really honored for this award. Thank you.
Wow, what an inspiring story, right? I think tonight is about education. It's about our survival stories. It's about our future leaders. It's about the fact that we've already carved the path for our youth. And I love what Melissa Armijo said. It's fight for our students. That's right. Absolutely. Fight for our youth and fight for this next generation. It is so, so important. So that was a beautiful, wonderful story. Many congratulations to you again, Melissa Armijo. Wonderful. Well, we got a special guest today, let me tell you. And I love, of course, our culture, right? It's about the arts and música and entertainment, and it's also about poetry, right? I love that, right? Well, we have a very special guest today, and this individual actually teaches reading classes, literacy classes, writing classes, but also is an amazing poet, and you're going to see, and I know many of you already know him, but I'm going to invite this individual up here. This is Manuel Gonzalez, and he is in the house today to get us going here. All right, and you know, I've known Manuel for a very long time. He's been a part of our community. He comes out every single time from Central New Mexico Community College for our information fairs, at the University of New Mexico, at all our Hispanic Heritage Month events. Thank you so much for your support, Manuel Gonzalez, and for being here today. The mic is yours.
I just heard Mrs. Armijo's speech, and I said, oh, I used to read my poems at Nuestro Valores. And then my whole family's from Anton Chico. They're the Gonzalez's up there. My dad is Manny from Manny and the Casanovas. I know you know who they are, but like, this is a small state. I'll tell you, that's good like that. Now, this poem, I'll make it short and sweet. It's dedicated to New Mexico. It's an ekphrastic poem inspired by the painting Mestizaje by Eric Romero. But it's about Madre Tierra. It's about Mother Earth. It's titled Mujer de Mestizaje. The blue cloud and the yellow cloud come together to rain down on the thirsty sand. Madre Tierra stands exposed in her beautiful vulnerability. Venus is a morning star, creation myth, bearing our bloodlines. Sangre-soaked soil, choya and chamisa, fire, famine, and floods. She is in our blood. Her womb is the ceremonial bowl. Mujer de mestizaje. carrying our pain and creating Cultura, Spider-Woman weaving the entirety of all our stories together, Tonantzin standing beneath the sun, the weight of the world on her brow, holding our history in her fingertips, the entirety of our pigments on her skin, our struggle is a holy relic, like turquoise placed at her feet. Our bloodlines are her story, her medicine to heal history. Koyo Shauki moon returns every month to remind us of the blood spilt. The cycles return, the wheel keeps spinning, the river keeps flowing night and day. Butterfly and moth, mestizaje, mixing sangre, making us all familia. She is Isis, she is Gaia, Oshun, Oya, Yemaya. All our relations come to celebrate the road, the journey, the distance, the bloodlines, the beans, the black bears, and the hummingbirds. The flowers bloom and coyote howls, ancestral whispers carried on the wind, carried in our blood, carried in her womb. Mujer de mestizaje. Thank you.
What an incredible, incredible poem by the amazing Manuel. Gracias, hermano. That was amazing. So when we talk about heritage, when we talk about culture, we talk about passing on the things that we've learned onto our children. And if I'm not mistaken, we have a very special young person that's an aspiring poet as well. So if she's willing to share with us the family tradition, help us welcome Manuel's daughter.
Hello, my name is Sarita Sol Gonzalez. I am 17 years old. I am currently a senior at New Mexico School for the Arts in the Creative Writing Department, which is our newest department of the school. I'm going to be the first graduating class in the Creative Writing Department. The title of this piece is Ivory 505. Actually, you know what?
There we go.
When I walk down the drugstore makeup aisle, I look for CoverGirl clean matte pressed powder, shade Ivory 505, the lightest shade they make. My grandmother looks for classic tan 450, a sun-kissed golden tone. My mom looks for buff beige 125, a warm peach tone. Yet I am still the most güera with Ivory 505 since I was little. Mi familia has called me güerita, little girl with golden curls, hazel eyes, and light skin. It's meant to be a term of endearment, but some of us güeras are starting to gain a complex, feeling like an outcast with my own gente, stumbling over my tongue just to talk with my abuelita, constantly having my authenticity questioned, trying to prove that I am just as Chicana as they come. I was born and raised in the 505, a place where my community thrives, lives, and loves. A place where the Sandia Mountains rise out of the ground like Mother Earth reaching to grab our Zia sun. The 505, where white sand dunes glow and shimmer like snow in the moonlight, lighter than the sands on the banks of El Bosque, but it is still New Mexico tierra. Just like the dark brown sand from Santuario de Chimayo that heals and protects my soul. The 505, where Rio Grande flows through and heals my heart. She sings to me. I know all of her songs. With every breath I take is a prayer to La Virgen. Every word I say has a hint of Spanglish. My heart tries to sing boleros at midnight. My ears are always listening for chisme, I could take caria from mi familia. And yet still, some people say I'm not Chicana enough. Sometimes I feel like Abraham Quintanilla. We have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans and more American than the Americans, both at the same time. It's exhausting. I'm tired of running this marathon. I am tired of jumping through hoops. I am tired of trying to fit into your molds. My Spanish will always be on the pocho side. My tortillas will never be perfectly round. My looks will never be of that perfectly beautiful Aztec princess. But my love for mi cultura will never fade. And this Chicana still carries her ivory 505 compact in her back pocket. Thank you.
There's no way she's 17 years old. I need to see a birth certificate. Un fuerte aplauso. This is our youth. This is our future. This is what tonight is all about. Amazing. So at this moment, we would like to call up, once again, Lala Gonzalez with our Business and Entrepreneur Award winner.
Wasn't that amazing? Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to connect because my dad's from Anton Chico, so I think I have some familia in the house. Anton Chico represent. I'm proud of that.
Who's been to the Delia bar over there? That's what I'm talking about.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you once again, everyone, for attending. We are taking care of the business category. And let's just think and remind each other how business plays a huge role in our culture and society in general. Society as we know it would hardly exist if it weren't for business. It gives forward thinkers and dreamers a place to turn their visions into reality. First, I want to acknowledge and recognize the nominees for this category. They are Adrian Montoya of Sandia Casino, Bessie Romero of Bessie's, Patricia L. Chavez of PLC Enterprises, Robert Mendez of The Cornivore, Fuentes Romero, and Natalie Trujillo of the New Mexico School of Etiquette. Before announcing the winner, I'd like to tell you a little bit about her. This person has been a staple and a light to the people of her community and beyond, competitively pricing her goods and services and actually often donating them much of her time and support and resources and her knowledge in teaching others in her community and lifting them up. The pandemic has been a challenge to all of us, but especially to small business owners. She has never wavered, and she has found ways to keep her business successful and to also help other small business owners, artists, and creatives to stay in business as well. Here's a hint. If you've ever been to any of her craft fairs, you will see and feel the energy of this queen bee and her hive of happy, creative bees living their best lives ever. But take time to also get to know and listen to her heartfelt testimony of love and vision for what she does to the people she serves. I recently visited her and I felt like it was her ministry, her purpose, her passion. She speaks it heartfelt. It gives you chills. She draws you in. You feel it, you believe her, you see it. She too is the epitome of celebrating, promoting, and preserving our heritage. Please help me congratulate our winner of the business category, Bessie Romero. Mike right for us shorties, right? Love you.
Oh, this was a surprise for me, and I want to thank the committee for all this and whoever nominated me. It's been 30 years with my business, and there was 3 of us that started the business because we had too much carrero in the house. So myself, my mom, and a friend named Dee Dee started the business on Old Coors next to a little restaurant. Our rent was $75 a month and $25 for utilities. And we fought, and my mom and dad said, there's a little place for sale down the street on Old Coors. So they bought it, and so we moved. And we worked hard, all of us, because we love the passion. And we got great neighbors with us. Finally, after a while, our florist that was next to us, so more creativity, and another Chicana that wanted her dream to become true like ours. We just follow our passion of the art that we do, and then we came with the struggles of art, so we had to move. And, well, this one fell. It's short. So I had to move down to Central and Sunset. So we survived the art project by a hair. It was I thought we were gonna close for sure. So here we go, up again, starting to get better, and then the pandemic hit. But because of all the concern of the government that helped all the small businesses, the support from the family, from friends, and our amazing customers, we survived. And I don't know how else I would have done it, because my mom was there, my sister was there, my kids were there for me, my friends, they were all there to help me. One of my friends, Kathy Chavez, I don't know. I wouldn't have survived without you, Kathy. You helped me a lot. She would work there with me for free. That's what community is helping one another and not expecting something from one another. That's what the raza does. The raza is there for one another. And my customers, the best thing was social media. And because of my daughter, she tells me, Mom, you gotta come up and look up in the world and get on Facebook. That was the best thing I ever did. And I get help from all over the state. I put things out there. We need clothes, we need food, any kind of donations. They come from all over New Mexico and bring me things. Everything, the community is all unidos. I couldn't ask for anything better, because without my family, my friends, my employees, and my customers, my store would be nothing. I'm nothing without them. And we have to learn to appreciate our employees and especially our customers, because we work for them. Muchísimas gracias a todos y muchas gracias por el amor que me enseñaron y Dios que los bendiga.
Truly inspiring. And she brought up a good point. That's what our Gente is about. It's about helping one another. It's about reaching out. It's about maybe doing things that we might not exactly agree with, but it's the right thing. And part of tonight, and even on a bigger scale, our national theme is Unidos, standing united together. And it's very important that we remember that and reflect upon that. Amazing stories here tonight. The next story I'm going to share with you is a performing arts category. And when we talk about our herencia, our cultura, we also talk about education. Dance is an integral part of our culture, back to the very foundings of our Hispanic culture. Because with dance was demonstrated through ceremonies. Dance and music coincide together. This next ensemble began, and the head of this ensemble can tell the story a little bit better than I can. But from what I know, and what I learned at a very young age when I really got to know her when I was in high school, is that she created a folklorico dance group in a public school as a class before it was really kind of in vogue. It was right at the beginning of really convincing administrators that this was a need in our public schools, because we were missing the boat on attracting students that maybe aren't into band, or maybe not into orchestra, maybe aren't into ballet, but there's something that resonates with the students when you offer the dance of their culture and their heritage. This woman taught folklorico for, I'm not going to say how many years, I'll let her do that. But then she created a new generation of students that continued the tradition. And then those former students started introducing their children to this dance. And before you know it, they didn't want to stop dancing when they graduated high school. They wanted to continue dancing because it's in their hearts, it's in their blood, it's their cultura, it's their herencia. This woman spearheaded her alumni to gather together to perform the dances they learned in high school, the dances that they're sharing with their children now, to do good for the community. What can we do to inspire, to help, to share our art form with our community? As an alumni folklorico dance group, they have raised thousands of dollars for their alma mater, Del Norte High School. They have raised thousands of dollars for a former student and a dear friend whose mother was battling cancer. They donate their time and they share their amazing art form of ballet folklorico, the traditional dance of Mexico. It is an incredible honor, and I was pleasantly surprised when Ballet Folklorico del Norte was not only nominated, but received the award for tonight. So please help me welcome Ballet Folklorico del Norte. And that woman is Elaine Alarid, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you. If you ever need stories about somebody, I have some from high school and from all his girl. No, I mean, let's just stay there. I wrote the program for APS so that the kids can get now credit. It used to be a half a credit, now it's a full credit, an elective credit. And it's in the yellow book, so they can all take it. I have asked 3 of my dancers to come with me. They were with me. I've taught Del Norte. I taught at Del Norte and at West Mesa and at Cibola, but my home was Del Norte for 30 years and 34 years of teaching Spanish and folklorico. And these young people, I still call them my kids, and their kids now dance. And I think 70 years old is the oldest, and it goes down to 3 years old, I think. And we know that there's 32 states in Mexico, and every state has a different footwork, choreography, dance, costume, music, footwork, and these kids all know it. They'll know, are we doing Veracruz? Well, that's not Veracruz. And so it's a wonderful learning experience for them. Then I retired, and Del Norte was having their 50th anniversary of the school's opening, and they said, could you collect a few kids and maybe show us something from those years? Okay, 30 kids offered to come and dance. So they said, well, why don't we do more of this? So we have chosen to dance only for fundraisers, for donations. And Percy Larrañaga was our principal at Del Norte High School and passed. And we raised $7,000 for him for scholarships in his name. And our next performance is for the ALS New Mexico organization. And our coach at Del Norte was Gene Pino. And so we said, well, let's do it for him. And so we have been dancing now. They've danced on Waikiki Beach. They've danced on 2 Carnival cruises. And all New Mexicans. And it's kind of an incestual thing. If they have to be connected to me in some way or Del Norte. So I have the husbands and the children and the grandmother and the aunt. And then one kid came, and it's one of my students' godchild from Guatemala. I said, godchild is pushing it, because these are all the kids, the brothers, the uncles. And she just said, but it's my happy place, I love it. And I said, what the heck? I guess godchild can come. Well, her dad just came to pick her up from practice, and her dad said, Senora, weren't you my teacher at Del Norte? So she was legally in. So we have every color, every marital status, every sexual difference. We have them all on that dance troupe. We have all ages. Yeah, I don't care if you can dance. So I'm very, very proud person to be elected. I thought at my age I'm out of the award area of my life. But I thank you, and OJ often plays for our dance troupe. And so I thank you very much, and I would like my 3 students to come and stand with me for our picture. Gracias a todos.
That was wonderful. Let's give Ballet Folclórico del Norte another hand. That was an amazing story. And it brings me to think, we have so much thankfulness. And I just want to thank all the Hispanic Heritage Committee, all the members that are part of our committee, okay? I'd like to thank our executive committee as well. We have our treasurer, Linda Benavides, right here at the front table, okay? And our awesome husband here as well. Thank you so much, okay? And then also we have Ernestine, Secretary Ernestine right here on our exec committee, okay? Along with my chairman, Orlando Marcos, and myself, vice chair, okay? And so this is an amazing committee as well. And I also want to, thank Lala Gonzalez for just really taking the time to put everything together today. It's amazing. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Don't you love the centerpieces? They're awesome. I love them. And there's some special people in this room as well, and I just can't, I want to make sure that, the time doesn't go by before we also recognize our past chairs that already built this committee. And that's Dr. Jennifer Gomez Chavez, Irma Ruiz, they're in here. And they've done the hard work for us. They showed us the way, and there are wonderful mentors and teachers. And also Dr. Lawrence Roybal that does incredible things for our education. education here in the state of New Mexico, and is just an amazing, beautiful person that is just, working for families, working for education, working for students. And so Dr. Eliseo Cheo right here teaching curandismo at the University of New Mexico, how to keep ourselves healthy and healing ourselves, all those different things, so important. Everyone, all our members that we haven't seen in a while, definitely just, welcome everybody. We're so excited that you're here. All right, I'm gonna give back the mic now. Okay, so the show must go on.
The mic battle continues. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Secretary of the New Mexico Hispanic Heritage Committee, Ernestine Jaramillo, to come up to present nonprofit winner.
Good evening, everybody. So this is my second Corozón de Cultura Award ceremony, and I just have to say, when I met this committee, I really felt, and this is a word that I keep hearing in the narrative that everyone speaks of, is my gente. When I came and met these people, celebrated with us, and you're probably gonna get that resonating feeling when you leave here today, is we found our gente. We need to preserve, promote, and celebrate our heritage and be proud of it. And so I'm very proud to announce this year's nonprofit nominees, and they are Blessed and Beautiful, KNAW Radio, and Flamenco Works. I'm about to announce this next category and give a little bit, thank you, I don't want to drop it. Okay. A little bit of a background on them. So this nonprofit was founded by two mothers that had a son and daughter that were really into dance, and a dance instructor who had a vision and a dream. They had the support of the community, and actually this community right here of Barelas that we're standing in right now. I don't want to give too much away if I say the type of dance, but they're very passionate. And they brought a vision of flamenco to our community. With just 3 board members, I gave it away, huh? Yeah. With just 3 board members and 2 students, they laid the foundation for Flamenco Works Incorporated. With an outstanding outpouring support of the community and semillas, they've found and been able to grow. Their classes are filled with students as young as age 4 and spans well into adulthood. Flamenco Works is one of the only dance studios that I'm aware of in town that actually provides a college scholarship for their students. Yes. So this college scholarship doesn't have to just be used for our traditional college. It could be used for trade schools. So if you want to become a plumber, beauty school, it's very, compatible in those ways. So this is the Futures 529 College Savings Program. And this is teaching our kids the college education is within their reach. And they're encouraged to perform and to instill that confidence and create avenues for public performance. So if you ever see them, and I encourage you to Ruby Red, Betsy's having an event tomorrow. Please follow all of these organizations online, their social media, Facebook. All of the funds that goes to Flamenco Works performances gets deposited into these kids' college funds, you guys. So you're actually supporting their future college funds. Casa Barelas during the summer hosts this beautiful event. You can get VIP with wine, chocolates. You don't even feel like you're in Barelas. I love Barelas. We're close to the river. It feels like you're up north in those traditional northern towns. So come and enjoy our culture that we bring here into Barelas. I'm going to continue on for them. So not only are the students well-rounded, so they're teaching them college education funds, but they're going to be well-rounded in dance, canta, cajon, palamas, and in the guitar. So what's become a part of our community by direct contributions of their art, creativity, and diverse expressions through flamenco, and we are extremely proud to announce that the honor of this year's Corozón de Cultura 2023 Awards recipients is Flamenco Works Incorporated. To accept the awards, we have here one of the students, one of the founding mothers,
So here's Natalia and Joyce. Instructor Jesus Munoz and his wife. So if you ever see any of these performances, these are going to be those people. So I'm going to hand the microphone after we take a photo over to Jesus if he wants to say anything.
Photo right away? We got quite a few dancers.
Hi, thank you all for, well, first of all, the award. Before coming here, I think I was, well, first of all, before coming here, I was running around with like 80-pound bags of concrete, jumping off the back of a Ford. And then about half hour after coming here, I realized I have a lot more in common, I think, with more of you than I don't. At first, and this is the first time I got to wear the clothes that I wanted to wear. My wife, Amalia, she's like, yeah, okay, you can wear what you want to wear. I was like, fuck it, I just want to wear this. It's fucking cold outside, you know? But I heard from every conversation I've heard so far, I think I have a lot of connections with most people in this room. Chill, I know your son. He 10 years ago, he was like the first one that made my posters, and the second and third time too. He like, out of Masks y Mas, Kiko, right? So we'd hang out and he'd make my stuff. And I've been trying to get into your class, by the way, for like 20 years now. I'm not joking. Because now I'm the president of Casa Barreras too. So we've been trying to host it. I've been like, yes, curanderismo. And I was trying to get into it during college because it sounds amazing. Have you guys read that thing? It's like amazing. You see the syllabus? It's like, who would not want to be in that class? So like I've been trying to get there one day. So Flamenco Works is founded by four mothers, myself, with a vision and a dream here to perform world-class flamenco art in all its facets. But I think as well, at the end of the day, what we looked at was not like, because you're trying to perform world-class art, you have to be good, right? You have to at least be like decent, but you have to be good. You have to work your ass off, right? You train and train and train, and really, literally, we train, we work like dogs. We work, we sweat. These kids, they don't look the same way because they're like 9 and 10. So when we work, we're dying, and they're like, you know, they're still feeling good. But the thing with Flamenco Works that makes it different, because people ask me this, what makes you different? What separates you from, say, the next flamenco organization or the next dance school? And it's not that we create we work with college scholarship programs. We've started to create and fund a seed for a plan. And what's that plan? Our plan is to promote secondary education. And as I was listening to Brian, I was listening to Alan, Valerie, different people speak throughout the evening. They talk about breaking that cycle of poverty, and I think that's it's a real thing in our culture, right? You have this first-generation college student. I'm a first-generation college student myself. I know. I'm a first-generation. Let me take this off. So it's not not my first time on the mic, but by the way, Manuel, oh my God. Your daughter is amazing. You're amazing too, but holy cow, 17, Jesus Christ. So incredible. It's a plan. So one thing is having a college scholarship program where you put your money into. Another thing is to try and create a plan to break the cycle of poverty. And so we started reading up on some results. We started doing our research, and this is what me and my wife Amalia do. We look into things, and we start doing investigative research, and we're like, well, we found out with that $500 in a child's account, any kind of savings account, and a child's 4 times more likely to graduate, 3 times more likely to go to college. So I was like, with $500 by the time they graduate high school, that's not that much, guys. So I was like, why don't we start with that? So we started trying to figure out how do we work within this plan. So we started working within a state-certified 529 plan. For kids, we started with just a couple kids. But I think the dream is ultimately, 500, 1,000 kids later. We're able to start helping fund children to break kind of this cycle, to teach them financial literacy. So we actually do host financial literacy classes. We work directly with the state directors of the 529 plan because we want to see that progressive change in Albuquerque. And I think the only way to see it is through education, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? You sit at the... Other people sit at a dinner table, and I sat at other dinner tables. They're like talking about stocks and bonds and then crypto. This, I'm like, what's that? What's stocks and bonds? What's that? What's an I bond? What's this? And for other people, for other families, it's regular. And for us now, in Amalia, we talk about these things. Oh, you invested in this? Yeah, okay. But in a regular family, say you're a Chicano from the South Valley, we're in Barelas over here, or even we're talking about Minneapolis. I think it was. Melissa was talking about Minneapolis, and even there's a lot of gente in Minnesota because they go for the cosecha. That's where I come from, migrant farm working family, and you don't talk about that. You talk about getting up in the morning, working your ass off, going to sleep, hopefully get a bite to eat, and that's about all you got, right? And so I was like, how do we work in that capacity? Well, let's hold the classes for free. Let's help them raise their own money, yeah? Let's teach them that this is one way to do it, and maybe if this is one way to do it, other people will maybe follow suit. So all of our performances that the kids have, all of that money that we raise from those performances goes into their accounts. 100% of the funds that...
They have to work for it. They have to raise money for their accounts, and they do a great job doing it.
And that's it. It seems like it's complex. It's not that complex. You get help from other people too. We can't do it by ourselves. Nothing happens alone. But it's not just the only program like that in Albuquerque. It's the only program like that I've seen in the country. We've done our research, So yeah, we are committed to secondary education. We're committed to moving these kids along. If they want to dance flamenco, great. Within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to create a certified program that will be in the 529 account program. You just wait. But meanwhile, if they want to be an electrician, plumber, contractor, if they want to be a lawyer, doctor, anything else, or a flamenco dancer, through an accredited program, they will be able to do that because that's their vision. That's what we're working to, and I think that's going to be what actually puts a dent in the next, the next cycle, the next generation, our future.
Truly inspiring. Every story is unique in its own way. And again, I love celebrating and listening to the different stories of our gente, making a difference every single day in their own way. And that's what I'm talking about. We each do our own. It could be as simple as just raising your kids. Be a good parent. Start there. And then do more. And that's what we're celebrating tonight. It's an amazing, amazing thing to honor these incredible people that we have here tonight. That being said, when we talk about sports, it's really easy to think about athletic feats. It's very easy to think about all the amazing athletes and everything that they accomplish. Great organizations, dynasties, whether we like them or not. They create a culture of winning and success that spans a test of time and decades. There's a recipe for it. But what we forget about are the voices that amplify our athletes, the voices that amplify those organizations, the voices that inspire us as we listen to a ball game, like the great Harry Carey of the Cubs, Vin Scully. Amazing voices that give a narrative to these tremendous athletes. It's a beautiful combination. And the gentleman that we're going to honor tonight has spent a lifetime, a passion, not only as an athlete, but amplifying not just any athletes, but Latino athletes, Hispano athletes, Chicano athletes. He has spent a lifetime looking for opportunities to highlight our Hispanos, our Latinos, our Chicano athletes, and recognize them for not just their athletic prowess, but to be proud to be a Hispanic athlete. We need more voices like his. And tonight, I'm incredibly honored to share a few remarks, a little bit about his life, and he has a very special guest to speak on his behalf here shortly. Ed Nunez is a native New Mexican who has lived all his life in Albuquerque, New Mexico. After working for 30 years from the city of Albuquerque in the Department of Family and Community Services and Senior Affairs, he retired in December 2019. That freedom to pursue his passion in sports broadcasting. He is currently the voice of Western New Mexico Athletics, is a sports director at 99.9 FM in Albuquerque, is a play-by-play broadcaster for ProView Networks, and also does PA work for University of New Mexico and the New Mexico Activities Association. Ed's hobbies are spending time with his wife of 34 years, Dolores, who you'll hear from just shortly, and his beautiful granddaughter, Olivia, who is 4 years old. It's the voices that I'm proud to recognize because they truly amplify the spirit of the athlete and all that we love about sports. Ed is unable to be with us tonight because, shocker, he's working and he's amplifying Hispanic athletes. But here to speak on his behalf, I can't think of anybody else better to speak, is his amazing wife, who is an incredible professional of her own, Dolores Nunez. Yeah, I'll go to for you.
Okay, so another short one here. Let me bring this way down. Good evening. I apologize that I may read some of my remarks for Ed because I could never do it as well as he does, so I'm going to have to do that. I'm Dolores Nunez. I am Ed's wife of 34 years, and he is my best friend. It is so true. I'd like to also recognize his sister Laura Nunez, who is sitting over with me, who came with me tonight. The first thing Ed wanted me to mention to you was how honored he was to be selected for this award. I can't believe our son is calling me right now.
Isn't he watching us right now?
He should be. He's in Virginia in a wedding, but I don't know. He must be following his father or something. Anyway, he wanted to mention to me, here he is again, how honored he was to be selected for this award and to be among so many outstanding nominees. Ed's original college focus was communications and broadcasting, where he went to Eastern New Mexico University. However, his journey took a different turn for him, and I think it's because of the way his career and his life was supposed to weave, and the journey was going to be different. And I'll share that with you in a moment. He has been involved with the youth of the community in sports and in other ways for many, many, many years, and he was able to do that through his career at the city of Albuquerque, working for family and community services, working in community centers with youth, at-risk youth, and youth all over the city of Albuquerque. He's come full circle, though, now, as he moved to his passion, which tonight he is broadcasting games at Western New Mexico University in Silver City. So he's doing what he loves. He's living his dream, and he's broadcasting a game as we speak. So he wanted to make sure this was videotaped. He's been involved in the community his whole life. As Orlando mentioned, he retired from a career at the city of Albuquerque. But I think that Ed was an influencer before influencers were really cool. I think that during his career, he mentored youth. I know that, as the director in several community centers, as I mentioned. And then his last stop was at Manzano Mesa Multi-Generational Center. So he had had the opportunity to help seniors as well. And so I think it just made him realize the importance of all generations and all of our gente, as you say, and I just love that word now more than ever. While he was doing all of that in that 30-year career, he was coaching at Highland High School. He coached AAU basketball with our son and several other teams. Then he refereed high school basketball for 20 years. And I heard all of the name calling. I heard all of the "you ref, you stink." And I heard all of that, and all the while I bit my tongue because I know he was living his passion. He just loved that. So now he broadcasts for ProView Network, the New Mexico Activities Association, UNM, you name it, he does it. In fact, I don't think we've celebrated Valentine's Day or our anniversary for many, many years together because he's always somewhere else. But I'm not complaining. I really do support him in that. He's also, in addition to sports though, he does a sports report for 99.9 The Beat Radio every morning. So every morning he's writing out his report. And he's also doing very important interviews. For example, he just interviewed Brian Colon this past Sunday and found out many, many things about the importance of Brian's life and what he brings to our community. And while he was doing all of that, he's a role model for our son Nicholas, who's a budding attorney and following Ed's footsteps has begun broadcasting as well. So I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm proud to accept this award on behalf of Ed Nunez, and I want to thank the Hispanic Heritage Committee for this amazing award that is beautiful. And I don't really like many of these awards to be hung in our house. We have a very southwestern den, but that one's going in with everything else. It is beautiful. So I know he would be very proud to accept this, and I want to thank you on his behalf.
What an amazing night. We only have 9 more awards to go, so hang in there. We're doing good. You guys are doing good. Get some more drinks. Let's get hopped up, make some bad decisions. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Tranquilo, tranquilo. So before we announce our final award of the evening, I'm going to have our amazing Vice Chair, Alicia Perea, speak a few words about our amazing artists once again.
I was actually telling him he could go ahead and do that, but that's fine. He can give me back the mic. That's absolutely fine. I just want to say, look at the progression of our live artists, and isn't it beautiful? And that's all during the time that we've been here. Isn't that incredible? We have such talented people in our community. It's absolutely fantastic. So yes, tickets at the end of the night. Well, definitely somebody will be going home with also the 2nd annual commemorative poster. It is amazing. I love the lowrider going into the sunset. That's my favorite part, right? Reminds me of Española. That's beautiful. We love our great state. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to hand it back over. We're almost there. We have the end part of our night, which is, a very special part as well. So.
And with that being said, I would like to call once again our former co-chair, Dr. Jennifer Gomez Chavez, to present the Corazón del Fuego Lifetime Award.
No se me duermen. Okay, so I'm going to actually ask my former co-chair, Irma Ruiz, to come up and stand next to me. So Irma served many years alongside of me, and tonight, as we celebrate another, I think this is the second Corazón de Cultura award ceremony that we're really not in charge of.
Yes.
So we're like proud parents. So congratulations to the amazing committee, the subcommittee, and everyone who is here.
Lala Gonzalez, woo! It's a good thing I put some lipstick on, Jen.
Yes. Yes, so we want to thank the leadership, Orlando, Elisa, Roberta Simone, Lala, Dr. Lawrence Roybal, our artist, Ernestine, Beatriz.
The Miss New Mexico, La Señora Bernalillo is here with us tonight. This is such an important, and maybe many of you are not familiar with what these amazing women do here in our community throughout the whole state of New Mexico. It's a Miss New Mexico Latina, and it's not just a beauty contest. These women are out in the community. They represent us, our gente, as we've been talking about all night long. And so, muchísimas gracias a la señora from Bernalillo, Nuevo Mexico.
Mil gracias.
And they are just always here to support us in all of our activities. Muchas gracias.
Yes, great role models. Thank you so much. Representative Linda Benavides, who was appointed recently. Dr. Eliseo Torres and Doctora Torres for your contributions. Vanessa, who is also part of the committee, and we're glad to see you today. So I hope I didn't miss anybody else. Melissa Sanchez. Gracias.
Thank you, Melissa.
So with that said, the Corazón de Fuego means the heart that is on fire. The heart that is on fire for our cultura, to promote, to celebrate, and preserve our beautiful culture. And we look often at this Corazón de Fuego as like a lifetime achievement award. And I'm going to tell you that it is always amazing to see the nominees for this category. But the person I'm going to mention, you will all remember when I mention this person's name. Most of y'all are norteños, but I'm a southeastern New Mexico girl from Hagerman, New Mexico, and Artesia, New Mexico, and I grew up listening and seeing this amazing person. So our Corazón de Fuego today for 2022 goes to Mr. Valentino de la O.
We all remember watching him on TV, right, everyone? I do, yes.
Raise your hand if you remember Val de la O.
Yes.
So he is a legend. I'm telling you, this man, and the reason I want to speak to that we're going to speak to the camera tonight is because he was planning to be here, but unfortunately his significant other, she passed away last night. So we're going to send him good energy. We're going to send him off knowing that what he's done, what he has done back in the day and contributed to this community and highlighted music, artists, Hispanos, Mexicano artists, growing those that were the unknowns, those that were famous. He's going to know that we will never forget his contribution, because that is what this work is about. We stand on the shoulders of so many leaders who have built this work throughout the years. And Mr. Valentino, who we know as Val de la O, just did that. So, quick story on him is that he was born in Greenlee, Colorado, but at a young age, they moved to Hatch, New Mexico to start a family farm. And the farm provided a good supplement to their family income, which was very limited. He graduated from Hatch Valley High School and earned a Ford Foundation scholarship to attend the University of New Mexico right here in Albuquerque. Val has always loved music, and he and his brothers were blessed with great singing voices. Some of his heroes were El Trio Los Panchos. Who remembers Los Panchos? My grandmother. I grew up with Los Panchos. I love them. And through their inspiration, he and his brother Nell learned to play the guitar. While at UNM, Val performed in various venues to earn pocket money. And a few years later, they recorded their first album, which was a favorite popular Mexican Spanish songs. Val worked for several radio stations, including one in Denver, and KABQ, como le decimos, KABQ, in Albuquerque. In 1960, Val began a half-hour television show, which was a variety talk show format on GOV-TV. He then joined KRQE, and he was there for 4 years until 1964. When his show then moved to GOV-TV, he stayed with the NBC affiliates until 1985. During his time, the Val de la O show became a local favorite. The show went into national syndication, and by the 80s, it was seen from coast to coast, from New York City to Los Angeles. His guest lineups included so many more, which included Anthony Quinn, Ricardo Montalban, Jose Feliciano, Antonio Aguilar, Pedro Vargas, Lucho Villa, Lola Beltran, Al Hurricane Jr., Baby Gaby, and Roberto Grego, and the list goes on. And so he was known as the Hispanic Johnny Carson. Val was, yes, that deserves. Val was a pioneer in the Hispanic television market in the U.S. He became a role model for rising hopefuls to the music and TV industry. Val was credited for opening the doors for many Hispanic TV industries and television personalities, and gave many up-and-coming young talents their first television break by featuring them on his variety show. Ultimately, most of them went on to become stars in their own right. Again, giving back one student, one artist at a time. Sorry, I have to lift this up.
He was our local Don Francisco.
Yes.
El Don Francisco de Nuevo Mexico. Val de la O.
Woo! So with that, Mr. Valentino de la O, we celebrate you. Muchas gracias for your contributions. La comunidad, estamos unidos para celebrar todo lo que has hecho por esta comunidad, por nuestra cultura. Muchas gracias. And this is the award that will be delivered to him actually in person. So again, felicidades and que viva la cultura.
Whew, what a night. What did you guys think? Did we do okay? Did you guys enjoy the evening? Do we have some amazing gente in our community? It was an honor and a privilege to celebrate each and every one of you award winners tonight. It's truly inspiring to know that we are surrounded by legends. Everyday legends are amongst us. We need to remember that every single day, not just for nights like this, not just for special occasions. It's for the business owners, it's for the artists, it's for the poets, it's for the entrepreneurs. We're all in this together, and that's what tonight is about. Corozón de Cultura is your heart of our culture, literally. And tonight is a reflection and a representation of that very sentiment. Tonight cannot happen without an amazing team collaborating, arguing, throwing down. But at the end of the day, this is the end result, because we're familia. Trust me, there are times I can't stand my brothers myself, but at the end of the day, we come together unidos. Because at the end of the day, we represent the same things. We're here to help each other. We're here to celebrate each other. We're here to promote each other. The amazing team, starting with the executive team of the New Mexico Hispanic Heritage Committee, starting with Vice Chair Elisa Perez de la O, Secretary Ernestine Nunez, Treasurer / State Representative Linda Benavides is like my second mother, and she gets on me all the time. Linda, I know, but hey, bear with me. And then our amazing committee members that continue to do the work right alongside us. The Roberto Simonis, Dr. Lawrence Roybal, Lala Gonzalez, Board Member Beatriz Valencia, Irma Ruiz. Everybody contributed to some degree to pull this night off. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the team. I'm grateful for what this committee stands for. And I'm excited for the future and what we're hoping to accomplish. So before you lucky winners take home some gifts tonight, I would like our amazing Vice Chair, Elisa Perez, to say a few more things. And then we're going to hand out some winners, and then we're going to celebrate tonight.
What an amazing night. My heart is full. And when we leave here tonight, we're going to do the good work, right? We're going to work together as a community. We're going to make a difference. We're going to make change where change needs to happen. And so I'm excited about that. And so beautiful. I want to make sure and, give another round of applause to Manuel Gonzalez, our poet. Beautiful. Awesome. He always steps up to the occasion. We reach out to Manuel. He's like, I'll be there. And so I love that. And also to his wonderful wife for attending as well, and his daughter. Wow, a standing ovation. I love that. That was amazing. Our live artist, our second commemorative poster. I'd like to thank the city of Albuquerque and the Bernalillo County for supporting the New Mexico Hispanic Heritage Committee, and also the beautiful awards tonight. Weren't they fantastic? Yes, and another shout out to Daniel De La O, New Mexico artist, for creating all the awards. So if you got an award tonight, make sure it actually comes with a small stand. So don't forget the stand, okay? It's up here at the front. All right. Yes, and also thank you to Linda Benavides and Melissa Armijo that's here in the National Hispanic Cultural Center, right here in the Salón de Ortega room. We love it here. It is absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask Beatriz Valencia to come up because we're going to go ahead and draw some names. Correct? All right. Sounds good. Do we have there we go. Oh, there it is. Wonderful. All right. Are we ready? Do we have a drum roll? Okay. Let's see here. All right. Drum roll. Let me shake it up. Huh? The light. What do you want to do?
We also are going to give away the flowers and the candles.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. This is going to be for our second annual commemorative poster winner right over here, this beautiful, stunning piece of art where somebody put so much hard work, character, love, passion. La Cultura is all over this art. I love it. Somebody's going to take it home tonight and go ahead and... Would you like to come up? Come on up, come on up. And you can go... We'd love to have Eli del Puerto come on up here and present it to our winner. Let's see who it is. Go ahead.
I was going to say,
yep, go
I
right
just
ahead.
want to announce a few things. The lovely, amazing Eli del Puerto, we did a call for art for this poster, and she stepped up to the challenge. We had many submissions, but this really captivated us as the voting and deciding panel. So thank you so much for your artwork. Please tell us a little bit about your inspiration about the art piece. And also, there are a few candles we'll announce later, but it has a little sticker of the artwork as well. So if you want to take a closer look at that as she describes it, we invite you to do so. Eli del Puerto.
Thanks, everyone. Usually I'm singing on the microphone, but tonight I'm just talking. I can sing to you also if you'd like. So when I got the description for unity and everyone being included, the first thing that came to my mind was food. Because who doesn't like good food, right? And I have the corn maiden in the middle, because without the mother and Mother Earth, we're essentially nothing. So I have the musicians on here and the Chilis dancing. I spent a lot of my life living in Mexico, and it was easy for me to bring this together, because I was like, well, these are all the things I love. And so I'm just happy about the culture, because that's why I started learning Spanish, because I love the music and I love the food and I love the people. And when I was 15 years old, I started working at Cici's Pizza, and I started working with Mexicans, and I was like, okay, así, eso es lo que yo quiero hacer, eh? Cuéntame más, inspírame, por favor. So I'm just very honored to be up here, and I got my lowrider, and I included some of the Native American culture, because this is what is New Mexico and Albuquerque and Mexico for me. So anyways, thank you very much, and it's an honor. Okay, you guys ready? So Mr. Jimmy Jaramillo. Jimmy, where did you go? ¿A dónde vas? Ah, Jimmy, venga. It's for you.
Awesome. There we go. Let me check it twice.
No, make sure it's him.
Go right ahead. We'll take a picture with you and the artist.
I can also give signatures afterwards if you would like.
All right. And we'd like to invite our live artist up, Marissa Duran, to share with us her inspiration of her live art today. And it's absolutely beautiful. Come on up, Marissa Duran.
Hi. Well, thank you for having me here. I'm super honored to be part of this. And I was really excited about this painting. I'm calling it The Prayer, and it is a prayer for our community. And all the hummingbirds represent just all of our differences and similarities also, and just coming together all in one place. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, I got Vanessa? Vanessa?
The one and only Vanessa. Beautiful. Let's take a picture with the artist.
Okay.
I'm excited. How cool.
Yeah, it's not quite finished yet, but it will be. So.
Okay, I'm ready.
Want to get a picture next to, or you want to wait till it's done to get a picture?
Yeah, either way.
Thank you.
Well, that will be the end of our evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was absolutely a beautiful event. And we just, take care of yourselves. Cuídense. Take care of yourselves. Muchísimas gracias para todo. Thank you. Come and get your...
Buenas noches.